good morning. Welcome to Business Equity and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. Whether you're an entrepreneur or a small business owner, each week our goal is to provide you with information and inspiration to start and then grow your own business. We gather that information from area experts and small business owners who are eager to share their collective experiences to help you find your own success. Our categories are, and always will be, getting started, accessing capital, what's happening in the week in business, accounting and bookkeeping tips, insights to help you run your business day to day. We take a look at a specific industry each week, and then we like to close with a success story from either a local business or a community leader. Our show is new every Sunday on Wish TV and live streaming on wishtv.com. We then post each of our 7 weekly segments and past episodes and other resources on our website, beoshow.com. During this hour, you'll see a QR code popping up. That'll take you directly to our website. While you're there, subscribe to our weekly newsletter and sign up and listen to our Business Equity and Opportunities podcast, part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. All that said, here's what's ahead this hour on Business Equity and Opportunity. We drop in on the annual year-end forum from the Office of Minority and Women Business Development to speak with the founder of the Diversity in Leadership program. Inauguration Day is January 20th. We'll look at the changes you should prepare for in the first 100 days of the Trump administration. We get small business banking tips to help your business prosper. We look inside the world of publishing with a local author, information about the upcoming Indiana Latino Leadership Circle, including how to apply, and we turn back the clock to honor Mozel Sanders. We're getting started with this month's Certified Vendor of the Month from the Office of Minority and Women Business Development, Professional Management Enterprises. Danny Portilla, service-disabled veteran owner, founded the company specializing in information technology staffing solutions.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Getting started.
Good afternoon. I'm Danny Portilla, the President and CEO of Professional Management Enterprises, Inc., headquartered in Indianapolis, Indiana. So you're in our headquarters, which is located at 9245 North Meridian. We're a professional services business that's been in business now. Matter of fact, December will be 19 proud years. But we're a professional services business that specializes in staff augmentation support services. We place people in following job fields: human capital, HR, healthcare, IT, just to name a few, with a huge call center presence here in our state of Indiana. We are so fortunate to be working in our purpose and our passion. There's no better gift for me personally after serving 20 years in the Army and giving someone meaningful employment. So that's a blessing for me. That's power when you can see, when you give someone the opportunity to have meaningful employment, that they can grow personally and professionally. I've been around with the 500 employees that we have nationwide. I've seen new cars, new homes. I've seen people saying that, my kid didn't need a student loan because we're able to help defray the cost of college. So I've seen that. I've seen them grow personally and professionally, taking professional development courses. Whenever we can see families like that, they're going to succeed. And their kids getting a chance to see what work ethic, they're learning how to keep a job, they're learning how to even get a job. So I'm excited about all of that. Again, with now, next month being 19 years for us, it's pretty humbling to be receiving this city award. Basically 17 years ago, we were one of the first service-disabled vendors to receive a subcontract award with Northrop Grumman for the city of Indianapolis. And today, we're still vibrant with our city. And all of that has taken place because of diversity, equity, and inclusion. That program not only enabled me to do business with our city, we thrived federally because of programs commonly known as the 8A program. So diversity and inclusion is the reason why we're extremely profitable today. It's extremely why we have become who we are, and we've thrived and basically have won. But the real joy out of that diversity and inclusion is it really united large businesses, women, minority, and veterans, and taught us how we all have a lot in common. We all want the same thing. We all want to succeed, and we all deliver an outstanding, or should I say exceptional, delivery to our end client. So everyone wins with diversity and inclusion, in my professional opinion. There's a lot of anticipation about DEI. I choose to believe, again, that all of us win when we can take care of each other and have a same common goal. So I think that when a small business, number one, learns how to effectively be competitive, effectively be compliant, and to do business with any large, it becomes, instead of a business relationship, it becomes more of a partnership. And at Professional Management Enterprises, we try our darndest to become a partner with all of our clients today. We want to take the wins and the losses with them. We want to learn from those, and hopefully they can mentor, coach, and develop us to become a better organization, to where they can lean on us and not just see us as a DEI recipient. We have received so much. There's power in giving back. So there's no way that I could not take other small businesses, mentor, coach, and develop them from everything that the Elevance Health, the KPMGs, the Centenes, Northrop Grumman's, or whomever have taught me. So if I could take a CEO and give them the life lessons learned, or the proposals that we've used, the technical responses, the pricing proposals, and what do you have to do to stay compliant? Those are strategies needed for you to win. You have to diversify your revenue. And that's the game for all of us as small businesses. What really keeps me going as a CEO, seeing your idea come to reality. Getting a team of business professionals and strategists to help believe in your passion, your purpose, and your vision. And if I'm being honest with you, there's no greater feeling when you can see someone. Let's take a call center agent. Let's make an assumption that someone who makes $15 or less, and you might have seen them get off of a bus and they walk through your doors, and they're repeatedly, a month goes down the road, 2 months go down the road, now you see that mother, that single mother, now she has a car, she has car keys. And now you see something come across your desk where now HR tells you that, we just got paperwork, she's applying for a loan, she needs a letter from us saying that she's working. That's power. I grew up from a single mother that raised 3, grew up in the projects. That is power, when you can be a part of that. So, serving my country for 20 years, I fought to ensure that freedom was free. Okay? Today, that same value is in me, but instead of going off to war to fight, I want to fight for the men and women who needs that job, seeking that job, might not know how to even hold that job. I want to mentor, coach, and develop them. Right here, start with us. Start with us. We're going to show you how. I want my clients to know that we're in this fight with you. We want to win. And we do want you to keep and believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. We can win together.
It was a big week for the Office of Minority and Women Business Development, which held its 17th annual year-end forum Thursday. When we come back, we'll meet the keynote speaker and find out about the importance to diversity in leadership. That's coming up next on Business Equity and Opportunities. Welcome again to Business Equity and Opportunities. Dr. Leon Jackson is the founder of the Diversity in Leadership program, which helps people grow skill sets to set them up for success in business, leading to more opportunities, larger salaries, more promotions. It's a different path, if you will, to accessing capital.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Access to capital.
Diversity in Leadership, we've formally changed our name to the Talent Development Impact Lab. But diversity in leadership is the only way that is proven to grow the pie, right? We often think of diversity as a way of taking things from one group and giving it to another group, and inclusion, again, taking things from folks and giving it to folks who may or may not deserve those things. But truly, diversity at the top of the house is the only thing proven to grow revenue, grow market share, create new markets, and also increase the amount of hope that employees have within the organizations in which they work. And hope is not something that can be measured other than through maybe a survey or something. But truly, hope is that thing that keeps them there, because they hope that one day that they do good enough that there's an opportunity waiting on them, that they're able to feel and be fulfilled in the mission of the organization and contributing to the mission of the organization. But diversity in leadership is a commitment to helping your organization look like the communities in which it serves. And so the work that we do is really about helping really talented people understand the talent that they have and the unique abilities and skills that they possess that can contribute significantly to how a business organization functions. As you start looking like the communities in which you serve, again, new markets become available and revenue grows. And ultimately, again, it's just simply that. It's good business. It's good, smart business. And so, again, oftentimes it's seen as a negative, but when these business units then become their own splitting off or their own verticals within the organization, again, it creates more jobs for all people. And so it truly is the only way to grow in the ways that most businesses really want to grow. The scary thing is that we live in a very polarized world. And so everything becomes a very political question. I mean, whether you're talking about who's the best basketball player or, where should we go eat? I mean, everything is polarized, everything is politicized, and it's a very scary place to be. And diversity, the word, just fell into one of those times and those moments where they had to find something to polarize, and rather than really embracing the differences that we have, because that's what makes America, America, that's what makes Indiana, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indianapolis, is the ability to appreciate your neighbor for what he or she brings to the table. And that's gotten lost in political commentary. And the sad thing is we miss out on the humanity that we share and the similarities that we share because we can't see past the commentary that folks who don't even live in our communities push. And it really is sad, and I really hope that one day we can get back to the days where I appreciate you because you're white, you appreciate me because I'm black, and I can introduce you to things that I'm exposed to and have been exposed to and grew up with, and vice versa. And without it being filled with an agenda. I've had a number of opportunities to really help change the way that individuals see me and the world that I come from, and the spaces that I love, and the people that I love differently through having conversations. And they start out as tough conversations, but more often than not, after that relationship's been built, and those tough conversations become much easier. But again, we have to find a way where we can begin to have simple conversations and use facts and understanding, and again, in grace to help us all move forward. It's going to take leaders, and it's going to take leaders with not only a desire to grow the business, but a strong moral compass, because it won't always be popular, and it won't always be easy. But I will say, again, those leaders, it is proven that those leaders who identify talent for talent and put the right people in the right seats, regardless of race or creed, those organizations thrive. If we're going to be the America that I believe that we can be, in the Indiana that I believe we can be, in the Indianapolis that I know that we can be, it's going to take really strong leaders stepping up. Some of these leaders are going to be younger, but it's going to be a challenge, and you will face adversity, you will face criticism. If you're not a true leader, it'll be very evident in the next couple months.
You want more information about this segment or any of the Access to Capital segments we've done? Follow the QR code to our website. Up next, the Indiana Latino Institute is accepting applications for its 2025 Latino Leadership Circle. We'll talk to the Institute's president next.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Time to talk about the week in business. The Indiana Latino Institute has been addressing issues facing the Latino community for more than 20 years. As the community keeps growing, the Institute expands its focus and now includes education, advocacy, and leadership programs. The Institute's president and CEO, Marlene Dotson, spotlights the Leadership Circle, what it is, and how you can apply to participate.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. This Week in Business.
Marlene Dotson, President and CEO of the Indiana Latino Institute. The Indiana Latino Institute is a nonprofit organization. We have been in the state of Indiana for almost 23 years. And initially we started with tobacco prevention cessation initiatives. But over the years and with the shift of the Latino population growing in Indiana, we move into other areas of importance. And one is education, second leadership, and advocacy efforts. This young lady at the age of 23 moved from Peru, South America. I born in the mountains of Peru, coming from a very humble family, and earned my bachelor's degree. But at that time, Peru, it was in the 1990s when Peru was experiencing political and economic challenges. So I decided to move here and start look for the American dream. And it started from very humble areas, started working as in the background of the grocery store, cleaning and so on. And most importantly, the part is, for me, was to learn the language. I didn't speak English, I didn't have money, I didn't have family, I didn't know anyone here, and I didn't understand the system. I didn't know anything about how America works in all areas that you can imagine. Basically leave my life behind and be here and start all over. And thank you God in the community, I got great people that have support me in moving from the grocery store to elementary school to local hospital into the United States Congress. And in the process, I went back to college and earned the master program in nonprofit management, and then arrived at ILI. Yeah, of course, being a newcomer into a new system, new country, it's like you going into a new place. You have to learn everything. And yes, and my background, my experience, my story gives me the opportunity to understand for those that there are newcomers and they don't know whether it's want access to college or want to open a business, which ILI doesn't focus on business specifically, but we help students who want to pursue their career. They want to go to college, but they don't have the support because most of them come from humble homes and parents who didn't even got a college degree, or some don't even have graduated from high school, don't speak English, so they don't know the system here. So that is what they have at home. So they need some support outside of home. In schools at the high school level, they're overwhelmed. So ILI plays a big role between home in between high schools. We help and we connect the high school with high school students with college coaching, connect them with resources, financial aid, how to apply for FAFSA, how to apply for college. All that we year round. And we host annual education summits. We bring over 5,000 Latino high schoolers to in one day to provide them all this information, connect them to the universities. So I connect a lot with the immigrant community. Yes, the Leadership Circle, it was created in 2018. As we move and see the community grow, we saw the need of representation and leadership positions, whether it's corporate, nonprofit, government, you name it. But also we saw great professionals, bright stars that happen to be Latino, but they are not in those places. So we connected with different leaders, Latinos in Indianapolis, and we create a Latino Leadership Circle, which is a 2-year program. The first year focused on mentoring, providing professional development, leadership sessions, network sessions, opportunities for them to meet for 9 months, once a month, and receive all these sessions and connected with different leaders in the community and understand the landscape of Indiana. Because what we want to see is providing the opportunities and retain talent. So they are very diverse. They come from different background professions. We have scientists, architects, attorneys, and we have a small cohort each year between 12 to 15. Most of them coming from Indianapolis. But over the next couple of years, we're thinking to expand it statewide. The second year focused in one-on-one mentorship. We pair them with a high-profile leader in the community, and they go through their second year through meet monthly with their leaders and mentors, and receive this session because they learn from that experience, but also they're exposed to the thousands of opportunities that they can gain from these leaders. For me, especially, is that serving. Once you are fine, now it's time to serve. And through this job and outside of my job, what I see is how I can connect to help one person, because even helping one person, it can make a big difference, because it's like we call the snow effect, that one person might impact the family and the next generation. So we see students that they come here, or people that they never thought that they can make it to college. They go to college and they graduate, they get a job, and now the younger one, the siblings, right, the younger sisters, now they are thinking about college. So that conversation becomes a normal conversation now at home. So that's where the snow effect comes. So for me, it's very humble to serve and give back to the community.
Applications for the 2025 Leadership Circle are open now, accepted through January 15th. If you'd like more information, visit our website. We have it right there. When we come back, local business consultant Jamar Cobb-Denard shows his insights on small business owners and how they can prepare for unexpected changes that may come up in the first 100 days after the inauguration. That and more as Business Equity and Opportunities continues.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. As we edge closer to the upcoming January 20th inauguration, it may pay to ask yourself, what will the first 100 days of the Trump administration mean for my business? Business expert Jamar Cobb-Denard is here with some thoughts on how business owners can prepare for any changes that may come.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, Accounting and Bookkeeping.
Now that the election's over, we've got a lot of new in front of us and some unknown in front of us as well. So as we look toward the beginning of January and the first 100 days of the new administration, we've got to make some careful choices as business owners to make sure that we're mitigating risks, but also taking advantage of a lot of opportunities. One of those opportunities is what we do before the new year starts. We used to call this Shop Week in my old businesses, and we actually still do this now, where we essentially shut everything down, no new clients, no outside meetings, and we just work on the business. So business planning, financial planning, getting all the taxes put together. So business owners, as they think about what they can do with the period of time that's sort of dead between Christmas and New Year's, a shop week is perfect. The second thing, and again, this is before we get into next year, but really taking advantage of December. We call it Black Friday. Sometimes the history says that it's because that's when many small businesses actually go into the black and start making a profit in December. So this is the time to really take advantage of what's happening in December with consumer confidence, with additional spending, so that there's a kitty to go into next year for working capital, reinvesting into the business, and also a little bit of profit for the owner. In terms of new decisions for 2025, yes, reflecting back on what happened in 2024 is very important. A couple things that as business owners we should look at is working capital. So that's what's the cost of running the business over the course of 2 or 3 months, and how have my other investments or purchases impacted working capital? Is it a recurring expense that makes my fixed expenses go up every single month? Was it a one-time expense or a one-time large expense that I may be able to prepare for in 2025? So not only knowing that break-even point, knowing how much it costs to run the business over 3 months, then analyzing the expenses and the choices that were made in 2024 against that working capital will help business owners be profitable in 2025. Planning with the CPAs and advisors, the best time to start really is December, January. They start to get really busy once March and April comes, and there's multiple deadlines throughout the year that they have to meet, obviously, and that business owners have to meet. But toward the end of the year, it's a little late, but start planning and executing your deduction strategy to make sure that you're not overpaying in taxes and you're mitigating taxes through that strategy. And also, in terms of the tax bill and planning for 2025, that's a great start for December, January as well. So there may be many changes as we get into 2025, and a lot of them we don't know what they are. So during campaigns, there are a lot of promises that are made, there's a lot of conjecture, there's a lot of what could be coming. So we need to look at what the administration and Congress, as well as the policymakers in the different departments, are thinking about in terms of taxation, in terms of new policy that could slow business down or speed business up. Also, we need to look at inflation and what the Fed is doing. Right now, the Fed isn't signaling an increase in interest rates, but it certainly could come. But in 2025, we're looking at stable interest rates for the rest of the year. That means that it's a great time to go to banks who are investing in local communities and get a working capital loan, get some cash flow money to make sure that the float between billing for bills and actually getting the cash for bills comes in well. Also capital for growth. At the same time, consumers and business owners are encouraged by good interest rates to spend. And as business owners, we want, whether it's on the consumer side or the business side, for those buyers to buy and spend money. We should watch how much we're buying and spending and stay on budget. Especially right now, the other thing to look at is inflation. Now, many economists say that the consumer pricing is really what drives inflation, and inflation is not technically high. But we can all feel it when you go to the grocery store and you go for just a few items and it's $200. That's the feeling of inflation. So yes, we need to stay on budget. 2, we do need to take a look at how our expenses may be growing. And in addition to that, we've got to take a close look at the power of our money as we go through and spend in 2025. So as forecasting tools, I'll typically look at the Fed. Also listen to a lot of economists. They'll take data and have different stories that they'll essentially tell us, but they're good because they give us some of the raw data that we may not be thinking about. So some of the policymakers in Congress and their conjecture about what's coming up about bills coming up, as well as some of the policymaking administrations and those departments within the federal government are also good signals as to what's happening. Now, big business and the stock market can certainly affect how people are thinking about what's happening in business. but it's not necessarily going to have a day-to-day impact on small business unless there's some sort of crash or run on the stock market and the prices drive up. So if people are uncertain about where to go for the best advice, some of the local periodicals, business periodicals, BEO through Channel 8 is wonderful as well, because we have experts that are coming out to talk about inflation and the economy and pricing and et cetera. So being able to take local resources that are in the media and really taking a close listen and close look at what they have to say is vitally important to stay on track with 2025.
Up next, small business banking tips that'll help you prosper. That's coming up on Business Equity and Opportunities.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back. I'm Scott Sander. Business Equity and Opportunities continues with Aisha Vaughn. She's the Banking Center Manager at the Avondale Meadows branch of First Merchants Bank. She offers some suggestions for small business owners on how to do a better job of setting up a company to prosper.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, running your business day to day.
My name is Aisha Vaughn. I am the branch manager of the First Merchants Bank. This was my first banking position. I actually have a background in human resource management, and the position came open. I applied for it, and here I am. I would say helping me better relate to people, because I also have a master's in psychology. Being able to have honest conversations has helped tremendously, because dealing with someone, talking to them about finances is completely different than having any other conversation. It's a very personal conversation, and you have to earn trust in it to be able to get people to disclose that information to you. My first conversation is making sure that they have set up a business account, making sure that they trust their banker who they've opened the business account with, having a conversation, letting them know, please do not commingle your funds. Separate your money from your personal and your business. That way you know how much you're making, you know how much you're spending on the business. That helps tremendously. That helps them with their credit scores, because a lot of times as a new business, our personal credit is not where it should be to secure business lending. And in order to secure business lending, you have to have basically a stellar personal credit score. So the new business owners, that's where I lead, that's where I stay. I help them get their credit up to where it needs to be. I am a partner. I have business owners who I go when I visit, I support their businesses. If I'm doing an event, I invite them to the event. Absolutely a partner. Personal, business, family, whatever, we actually do establish a fantastic relationship. So with the business checking account, you need to make sure that you have your EIN established, make sure you have your business established with the Secretary of State, set an appointment, that way the banker has time to fully have a conversation with you. They're not rushing to get the account opened. Make sure that you're asking how much it takes to open the business account, so you're fully prepared. So making sure that you are not commingling your funds, making sure that what you need, that you actually are prepared for that purchase. So let's say you want to purchase a dump truck, but you can't necessarily afford it. If you're going to pull some business partners in, make sure that all your business partners have good credit, so when you do get ready to access capital from the bank, that you can receive an approval the first time and your guys aren't scrambling around trying to get your money together. I can help with accessing funds. I can help with building their business. In my branch particular, I do allow businesses to promote their business within the branch, whether it's a flyer, whether it's just me having conversations, making connections. That's the easiest way to do it. It's when you make the connections, you'll see that your business will grow, because you're with another like-minded individual. They have to prosper. What's the point of having a business? if you're not going to prosper. You have to be approachable as a business owner, and no matter where you are, you represent your business. Give your business cards to everyone you come in contact with. If you're at the grocery store, give your business card. Use your social media too to get your business out there. Make sure you separate your personal social media from your business social media. That helps your business grow. But again, you have to be approachable. You have to be willing to have honest conversations with people. Let them know what you do, and if you can help them in their business, be willing to help them with their business as well. I'm so excited for my business owners. I'm excited for my consumer clients as well. Imagine coming into a bank and you're starting out with a 550 credit score, and within a year, I can get you up to 680, close to 7. You go to any car lot, you can get the car that you want, and you've tried not to. You're trying to get your business vehicle. You've not been able to in the past, but after you've talked to me and you follow the directions, you've listened, you're able to secure your dream home. Whatever you need, we're able to make that happen.
Ahead, we meet an Indiana author turned publisher to learn about the business of publishing on a local level. This is Business Equity and Opportunity. This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Thanks for spending part of your Sunday with us. Julia Royston is a Jeffersonville, Indiana-based author and publisher who's helped hundreds of writers realize their dream of seeing their work in print.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Industry Focus.
So I'm Julia Royston. I own BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Boss Consulting. I am a retired educator and librarian, and I've been doing this for 17 years. And so I've been retired for about 6, so librarianship was my life, books have been my life, so this is really a great adjustment and movement, and really an expansion of sorts. Now writing and publishing, coaching and consulting others as well. My father was a teacher, but he had a business in the evenings. So we ran a janitor service for about 40 years. And so therefore, entrepreneurship is really in my blood. I had a horrible speech impediment when I was younger. Most people can't recognize it now. So I started answering the phone for them, for my parents at 9 years old. So entrepreneurship, business, basically bivocational it's in my blood. And when I published my first book with another publisher, independent in Indiana, I realized I can do this. I can do this on my own. And so, as they say, stop begging people to have a seat at the table, create your own table. I said, I have control issues. I naturally am a born or engraved or trained entrepreneur. I'm going to do it on my own. And so through time and trial and error and learning and just my own natural abilities, here we are. So when I first started, I was only publishing myself. And then probably 2 years later, a friend said, I'm gonna pay you to publish my book. And I'm like, no way, are you kidding me? No. And so she did. We had a very early contract that looks nowhere near like that now. And so that was her first book. It was probably my third book. And so we basically have grown. Yes, I attract more beginning authors. Now, after almost 17 years, I get authors who have published in different ways. So I'm considered an independent publisher. So I help you with the process, and I really take you from beginning. Sometimes I take them from the idea in their head to Amazon, and then sometimes they have a story already completed. It just all depends. But mostly these are people who have always wanted to write, have written books and slid the notebooks or the journals in their side drawer and meet me and say, I think I'm gonna trust her to be able to do it. And so when I first started, BK Royston Publishing is my oldest company. So when I first started, I was just helping you do the book and here you go. Now, fast forward, Book Business Boss Consulting is where I'm taking your book to the next level, to a business. And some people have the book and then they turn it into a consulting or coaching business. Some people have a ministry or nonprofit and then they need a book to go along with it. So I have basically grown with my clients. They trust me to have the book, and then after the book, well, what else can you do, Julia? What else? Well, what else do you need? And so the businesses have really expanded and grown since then. So, we've grown up together, and so now I feel confident to take someone from an idea to a business. First, number one is knowing that what I create will live on after me. I have no biological children, so I'm really empowering people, I inform other people, I encourage others. So I'm really pouring myself into other people. So that's really what I'm excited about, being able to do that.
Our chat with Julia will continue next week as she takes us through her own journey as an author. See if it inspires you to share your story or stories. Again, be here next week for that. If you'd like more information about this or any of our industry-focused segments, visit beoshow.com. When we return this hour, we turn back the clock to honor Mozel Sanders. Time is short on business equity and opportunities, but we have time this hour to end with a success story, more than a half century in the making. The annual Thanksgiving dinner from the Mozel Sanders Foundation fed nearly 10,000 people this year. Mozel Sanders passed away back in 1988, but he clearly left a legacy of service that his family and his community have continued to honor. Wish TV has followed that journey for years, and as part of our 70th anniversary celebration, we want to take a moment to look back at the early days of what has become one of the largest Thanksgiving Day food service providers in the United States.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Success Story.
I'm just a catalyst. I couldn't do this by myself. It's these people who've come from across the state really to help make this happen. We have people here from Cicero, Indiana, Greenwood, Noblesville, you name it, they're just here.
The steamy kitchen of Tech High School is the site of the biggest Thanksgiving operation.
We're going to try to feed about 16,000. That's our goal, aside from what comes in and eat here with us.
This is the 13th year Reverend Sanders and his church have joined to feed the poor, but the magnitude of the project requires lots of help, and today they got it straight from the top.
Loaded up, generous portions.
Mayor Hudnut was among the 300 or so who joined to prepare meals or to help deliver the meals. Many of them are going to shut-ins. Reverend Sanders says his volunteers will take them anywhere someone needs a hot meal.
To see all these people here, everybody's volunteering, and they've never seen the people probably that they'll touch today, but at least they're making folk happy.
Arsenal Technical High School is the pulse of the Mozel Sanders Thanksgiving Day dinner. Last year, Reverend Sanders was here, as he had been so many years before. This year, for the first time, he is not.
It always looked so easy. Reverend Mozel Sanders fed more than 15,000 people every Thanksgiving Day for 13 years. But when he died, he took the workings of putting it all together with him.
His daughter has taken over the reins.
I always expected that someday I would have to do it, but I didn't think it'd be this soon. I thought I'd have maybe 10 years to be his protege and, learn step by step what's going on. But yeah, that kind of overwhelmed me because it all happened so sudden. But everything's going okay so far.
Another first this year was the establishment of numerous distribution sites for better community outreach. It was one of the last improvements in the program Reverend Sanders would make before his death.
Passing out meals to some 16,000 people last year, Reverend Sanders wanted his staff of volunteers to reach 20,000 this year. 17 different satellite locations were established. Everyone involved seemed determined that the tradition would not die with Reverend Sanders.
That goes there, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here.
3 boxes minus 1. Mount Vernon's getting 3, Tab's getting 5. Housing's getting 2,500.
Long before dawn, 23-year-old Shantae Sanders was conducting her orchestra of volunteers. As many as 500 volunteers helped her make the task of feeding 25,000 people look as easy as hosting a small dinner party.
Her dad taught her well.
She's going to carry it off okay?
She's going to carry it off okay. Next year it's even going to be bigger, it's going to be better.
Shall we bow our heads? Eternal God, our Father, we thank you for this another occasion to pause and to reflect on your bountiful and manifold blessings.
The blessing over the quarter-century-old tradition known as the Mozel Sanders Thanksgiving Day dinner took on even greater meaning this noon. The most well-known Indianapolis holiday tradition was nearly canceled a week ago when the late Reverend's family disclosed that last year's bills were still unpaid and the overwhelming event remained unorganized.
But then came an outpouring of help from the community.
I think it's just a testament to this city again that within hours, people said, no, this won't be a hard thing to do.
The Indiana Black Expo stepped in, knowing full well, says its leaders, that this community would pull together.
The logistics of such an effort are staggering.
This is my first year, and I decided that it was time to do something when I heard that it might not happen.
And pull together, the community did. Businesses and individuals pledged nearly $60,000, and resources and services of every description were donated.
It brings people together across racial, economic, and class lines, and brings us together for a common cause, feeding the needy.
The dinner that almost didn't happen last year has grown to feed more people than ever before.
We critique what we did last year and improved upon it this year. And that's why you see the success of this year.
But we need the yam and the sweet potatoes to open up first.
If Mozel Sanders could see it now,
He'd sit back and laugh. He says, I never dreamed it would be this good.
No, it will not die. His spirit will live forever.
And if today is any indication of things to come, the massive effort to feed the hungry on Thanksgiving will be around for some time. For the first time this year, there was a huge surplus of volunteers. Tina Cosby, Wish TV, News 8.
If you'd like more information about the Mozel Sanders Foundation and how you can help continue its year-round initiatives, visit our website, beoshow.com. Scanning the QR code one final time will take you right there. If you have questions or suggestions about what you'd like to see each week, we want to hear them. Send us an email at beo@wishtv.com. Thank you for spending this hour with us. Join us next week for more business equity and opportunities. Until then, I'm Scott Sander. Have a great day.
Business, equity, and opportunities made possible by Fifth Third Bank, Indiana Black Expo, Gemco, IndyBiz Pass, and Bose McKinney & Evans.